What do you think the largest breakthrough will be within STEM in the next 10 years, and how will it influence the next generation of young women?
I really do think that climate change is going to really be a driver in the next 10 years of scientific development. And what will happen in that area is going to dictate the next 100 years of humanity, right? I don't know what that breakthrough will be in climate change, whether it's somehow trying to deal with the carbon we've already emitted in the atmosphere. So, whether that's carbon capture or carbon sequestration, or just trying to figure out new ways to live in the reality that we've created for ourselves to a certain extent. I think that those are going to be kind of some of the biggest things that really need to happen. And young women have such a big role to play in that. And I think that means that there's so many opportunities um, for young women to contribute in a really meaningful way, because it requires a really, really significant amount of creative out of the box thinking. And I think young people are really good at that in a way that even me, as a sort of not that old, but not that young person, maybe I'm not as good at it as younger people are. And I think that that's going to be really fun to watch your generation of young women scientists really coming up with these really amazing solutions to these problems that you all didn't create, but sort of the cards that we've been dealt, unfortunately. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely true that my generation and even generations younger than me have a different perspective on things, and partially because we didn't create it, so there's even more of an incentive to get rid of it because it's not our fault. What is one thing that you wish you knew about STEM or chemistry when you were little, and what advice could you give to girls going into such fields or interested in going into these fields?
I think, and this kind of circles back to the very beginning, and that one thing I never really realized about science is that it's a team sport.
Mhm.
So, you know, nothing happens in a vacuum. This perception of these people who had these really individual contributions to science, I think are very true, right? Like, it's not that they did not achieve those things, but the world is different now. The science that we are trying to understand in it, for example, even in climate change, is so complex and such as touches so many different disciplines of science that there's no way one person is going to come up with the solution. And it really is a team effort to try to solve some of these, even small challenges, not necessarily even big ones, even small ones, like making a new adhesive, is not something that one person does, right? There's a lot of people that are involved in the teams that I work on. And so I think for young women, realizing that there are going to be a lot of people that you're going to be working with, and that is awesome and really cool and really normal, and you should view that as something that's going to be really fun. And I think young women are incredible at working with all different kinds of people. Young people in general, not even really young women, but young people in general are really great about understanding that. And I think remembering you are not alone and you won't be alone is sometimes comforting, because you won't know everything, and that's fine. And it's great to go ask other people, what their opinions are, and what kind of expertise they can bring to the table to solve the problem in the best way possible.
Mhm. Yeah, well, thank you. I think I agree with that, and I think that it definitely is always a team effort. Even what we were talking about with Marie Curie, if she did projects with other people or if she was not mentioned in other scientific discoveries way back, even the discoveries that those men made or labeled with making, there was a whole team of people around them that were actually helping them make it. It was definitely not just a single person who was responsible for it. So
Yeah, definitely. You're totally right.
well, thank you so much for agreeing to do this and for talking to me. And your answers were so insightful and they were really interesting to hear from.
Yeah, thank you so much for the invitation. It was really fun.
That was awesome. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.